Welcome, dreamer, to Evernight Classics, where winter stories rest beside the glow of a single flame. Tonight, the city lies quiet beneath a cold December sky. The streets are nearly empty, their stones holding the memory of footsteps long since faded. Behind a narrow window, a solitary candle burns, its light steady but small, pushing gently against the dark. This is the counting house of Ebenezer Scrooge. The ledgers are closed now. The quill rests where it was set down. There is no fire in the grate, only the candle, standing watch over a room shaped by habit and silence. Outside, the wind moves softly along the glass, and somewhere in the distance, a clock marks the hour. Scrooge sits alone, his coat still buttoned close against the cold, his thoughts folded inward like unused paper. This is how he has lived for many years, not loudly, not cruelly, but carefully, as one might live when warmth feels like a thing that must be earned. Tonight, we do not speak of ghosts. We do not yet speak of change. We speak only of winter and of a man who has grown used to its presence. For winter does not always arrive with snow. Sometimes it settles slowly inside us, through choices made for safety, through doors left unopened, through memories set aside and never retrieved. The candle flickers once. Its flame leans, then steadies. And in that small movement, something stirs. Not a voice, not a vision, but the faint beginning of remembrance. The room holds its breath as Scrooge remains seated by the small desk, the candle casting a narrow pool of light across the wood. The shadows it creates are long and patient, stretching into corners that have learned not to expect visitors. He has known rooms like this for much of his life, rooms that ask little and offer less, rooms where one can exist without interruption. The cold does not trouble him in the way it once might have. It has become familiar, a companion he neither welcomes nor resists. He has learned how to keep his hands steady even when the air bites, how to measure his movements so that nothing unnecessary is wasted. This carefulness has served him well, or so he has always believed. Outside, the city moves softly through the night, but Scrooge does not look toward it. He knows the sound of winter streets already, the distant wheels, the muted steps, the way laughter fades more quickly in the cold. There was a time when he listened for such sounds, when he wondered who passed by and where they were going. That time feels very far away now. He thinks instead of numbers and ledgers, of the order they bring to days that might otherwise wander. Accounts close neatly when treated with care, and certainty has always been preferable to hope. Hope, he learned early on, asks too much and offers no guarantee in return. Better to trust what can be counted, what can be checked and balanced, what remains when sentiment is set aside. Yet even in this quiet, something unsettles him. It is not fear nor regret, but a faint disturbance, like a draft slipping through a door he does not remember opening. The candle burns steadily, but its light reveals more than he expects, catching the edges of old objects long ignored. A paperweight worn smooth by years of use. A chair pulled slightly away from the desk, as if someone once meant to return to it. Scrooge shifts in his seat, adjusting his coat, though the movement brings little warmth. There are moments, rare and unwelcome, when memory presses close without invitation. He pushes such moments aside as he always has, reminding himself that the past is best left undisturbed. Nothing good comes from reopening what has already closed. And yet, winter has a way of weakening such defenses. In its long nights and early darkness, it leaves space for thoughts to wander where they usually would not be allowed. The cold slows the world, drawing attention inward, asking questions no one intends to answer. Scrooge feels this now, the faint pull of something old and half forgotten. He remembers, without meaning to, the sound of a younger voice, his own, echoing in a room far larger than this one. He remembers a window bright with frost and candlelight beyond it, and the feeling of being warmed simply by knowing someone waited nearby. The memory is brief, no more than a flicker, but it leaves behind a quiet ache. He straightens, displeased, as if he has allowed the candle to burn too brightly. Time moves on regardless. The clock marks another minute, and the city settles further into sleep. Scrooge tells himself that this is only winter at work, nothing more. A season that always stirs thoughts of what once was. He has survived many winters before, and he will survive this one as well. Still, as the candle's flame wavers gently, the room feels less empty than it did before. The cold remains, but it no longer stands alone. Something else lingers with it now, quiet and watchful, waiting for the moment when remembrance dares to speak. Memory rarely arrives with noise. It comes quietly, like winter light slipping through a narrow gap in the curtains. It does not demand attention, yet it waits patiently until we notice its presence. Scrooge has spent many years believing memory to be a burden best avoided. He has learned how to keep it at a distance, how to turn his thoughts toward figures and facts whenever the past begins to stir. Such habits grow strong with use, and over time, they feel almost like protection. But winter has a way of loosening what we hold tightly. The nights grow longer, the world grows still, and the mind finds room to wander. In that stillness, memory no longer needs permission to enter. We all carry moments we have set aside, not because they were unimportant, but because they asked more of us than we were ready to give. Some memories hold joy that feels too distant to touch. Others hold choices we would rather not examine too closely. Left unattended, they wait, gathering weight in silence. Scrooge feels this weight now, though he would not yet name it as such. It presses gently, not to accuse, but to remind. Memory does not come to punish. It comes to return what was once known and then forgotten. There is kindness even in this quiet discomfort. To remember is to admit that something once mattered. To feel its absence is to recognize the space it still occupies within us. And in that recognition, the possibility of warmth begins to form. For winter is not only a season of cold, it is also a season of listening. It slows us enough to hear what has been waiting beneath our careful routines. And sometimes, in that hush, memory becomes the first light to enter a darkened room. The candle's flame leans to one side, as if listening, and the room seems to widen around it. The walls remain the same, the desk remains the same, yet something in the air has shifted, as though the night has opened a door no hand can see. Scrooge sits very still, his eyes fixed on the small circle of light, and for a moment he cannot tell whether he is awake or drifting at the edge of sleep. The first change is subtle. The cold in the room grows less sharp, not warmer exactly, but softer, as if a layer of harshness has been lifted away. Then the sound of the clock changes, becoming distant, as though it were ticking from another house, another street, another year. Scrooge draws in a careful breath, and the air tastes faintly of something he has not tasted in a long time. The dry sweetness of old paper, the clean scent of snow, the quiet perfume of a fire that has been tended with care. A corridor seems to form beyond the candlelight, not built of stone or wood, but of memory. It is dim at first, as if the past is reluctant to be seen too clearly, and then it brightens gently, the way a winter morning brightens behind clouds. Scrooge feels the faint pressure of time moving around him, not forward, but inward, and he senses, with quiet certainty, that he is being shown something. He does not resist, because resistance would require energy, and for once he has none to spare. He sees a room that is not his counting house, but a place of older quiet, a schoolroom, plain and cold, with a window filmed by frost. The desks are small, the benches narrow, and the air holds the lingering chill of a building that has been left too long without laughter. A single candle burns there as well, smaller than the one before him, and its flame shakes each time the wind presses against the panes. Scrooge realizes, with a stillness that feels like shock, that he knows this room. He is there and not there, watching as a younger boy sits alone at a desk, shoulders hunched, hair falling into his eyes. The boy's hands are ink-stained, and he holds a book close, as if it were warmth itself. He reads by the dim light, lips moving silently, and every so often he glances toward the door, as if hoping it might open. It does not open, and the boy turns back to his pages, pretending, in the way children do, that this is enough. Scrooge's chest tightens. He wants to look away, but his eyes remain fixed, held by the quiet gravity of what he sees. He remembers now the particular loneliness of winter afternoons in places that are meant to be shared. He remembers how even the sound of footsteps in a hallway can feel like hope, and how quickly hope can bruise when those footsteps pass by without stopping. The boy's candle flickers, and the scene dims as gently as a page turning. Another room appears, warmer than the last, though still touched by restraint. There is a fire here, modest but real, and a small table set with bread, a mug, a few simple comforts. A woman moves quietly through the space, her hands sure, her face calm, and she speaks to the boy with a tenderness that does not insist on being noticed. The boy looks up as if startled by kindness, then softens, and in that softening, Scrooge feels a familiar ache deepen. He had forgotten what it was to be offered warmth without having to earn it. The scene changes again, and the air in Scrooge's counting house seems to tremble as if the candle has breathed in. Now he sees a younger man, not the lonely boy, but someone older, straighter, more certain in his own defenses. The young man stands in a place of work, where voices and laughter move around him, where life is busy, ordinary, alive. He is surrounded by people, yet he is already separate, holding himself as if he must be careful not to be drawn in. Scrooge recognizes this posture with discomfort, as one recognizes an old habit that has hardened into identity. A figure appears near the young man, someone gentle, someone whose presence is not loud but steady. There is warmth in this person's eyes, and patience, and a hopeful kind of bravery that asks for nothing more than honesty. The young man listens, hesitates, then looks away, not in anger, but in the quiet refusal of someone who fears what tenderness might require. Scrooge watches the moment stretch, and he understands, in a way he did not then, that this was a turning point. He did not choose cruelty, but he chose distance, and distance, over time, becomes a kind of cold. He wants to speak, to reach across the years, to tell his younger self to pause, to take the offered warmth, to keep the door open a little longer. But memory does not change because we plead with it, and the scene continues as it always did. The gentle figure's expression shifts, not into bitterness, but into sorrow that must learn how to stand alone. The young man's shoulders stiffen, and he turns back to his work, back to numbers, back to the safety of what can be measured. The room dims again, and Scrooge feels as though he has lost something twice, once in life and once in remembrance. The candlelight in the counting house grows brighter for a moment, and Scrooge notices his own hands. They are older now, thinner, marked by years of careful living. He sees with sudden clarity that he has been holding himself shut like a locked box, protecting what little warmth he had left by refusing to spend it. But warmth is not like money, and the hoarding of it does not increase its value. It only leaves the room colder. The past continues to unfold in quiet images, each one a soft brush stroke rather than a sharp seam. A doorway closing gently, a street lamp shining through fog, a small fire tended by a patient hand, a table set for more than one, then set again for only one. None of it shouts, none of it accuses, and yet the weight of it is unmistakable. Scrooge feels something move behind his ribs, something he has kept still for so long it hardly knows how to wake. It is not sudden goodness, not a grand transformation, but a simple human feeling returning to a place that has been starved of it. He feels tenderness, faint but real, for the boy with the book, for the young man who mistook distance for strength, for the older man who has sat too long with the cold and called it peace. His eyes sting, and he blinks slowly, displeased with himself. And then, quietly, he stops resisting the sensation. Outside the window, the wind moves along the glass, and for the first time it does not sound like an enemy. It sounds like winter, doing what winter does, passing through the world without malice, leaving room for light to be noticed. Scrooge's candle steadies, and he sees how its flame casts warmth across the desk, how even a small light changes the shape of a room. He thinks, with a calm surprise, that perhaps he has been living as though darkness were permanent, forgetting that it can be answered. The images begin to fade, not vanishing abruptly, but withdrawing like a tide. The schoolroom dissolves. The warm kitchen dims. The younger man's posture disappears into shadow. What remains is the candle, the desk, the quiet room, and Scrooge's breath moving more slowly than before. He sits in silence, and the silence feels different now. Less empty, more attentive, as if it has made space for something new. The cold is still present, but it no longer feels like the only truth. There is a faint warmth in the air, not from a fire, but from the simple fact of feeling again. Scrooge looks at the candle and lets the light rest in his eyes. It is not yet morning, and he is not yet a changed man, but something within him has begun to loosen, and that is enough for tonight. The candle continues to burn, steady and quiet, as the night deepens around the counting house. Scrooge remains where he is, his hands resting on the desk, his breathing slower than before. Nothing dramatic has occurred, yet the room no longer feels as cold as it once did. He rises at last and moves toward the hearth. The grate is empty, but a few pieces of coal remain close at hand. With careful movements, he sets them in place and strikes a match. The flame catches, small at first, then growing, answering the dark with patient warmth. The fire settles into a gentle crackle. Its light joins the candle's glow, softening the edges of the room. Shadows retreat, not entirely gone, but no longer dominant. Scrooge stands quietly, watching the flames as if learning their language. Outside, the city rests beneath winter's hush. A distant bell marks the hour, muted by the cold air. Snow drifts softly through the streets, covering sharp corners and smoothing hard lines. Scrooge returns to his chair and sits, allowing the warmth to reach him. He does not think of resolutions or promises. He does not name what has shifted within him. He simply allows the fire to burn and the light to remain. The lamp grows dim. The fire holds its quiet glow. If sleep has found you, let it keep you. And if you are still awake, rest here a little longer in this gentle warmth. Until the next night, in the library of Evernight.